Hello, this is Pamela. Welcome to my channel. Grab you a cup of coffee, sit back and relax, and enjoy some good old yarny talk.
So you're ready to learn how to make a granny square. So let's go ahead and get started. I happen to be using a medium 4-weight yarn and an H hook. But the beauty of the granny square is you can use any yarn you want and any hook you want. So you just need to make you one and see how your first granny square comes out according to the hook and the yarn that you decide to go with. I'm just going to show you how to make a granny square. Okay, so in this tutorial, you can make a magic ring like this. Let's do that again. Take the yarn right here, go over crisscross like this, okay? Take your hook in the upper part, right there, grab the yarn like this, pull you up a loop. Now grab your yarn and pull through that loop, just like that. And you have a magic ring to work in, all right? And then at this point, if you were going to start from here, you would chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and that would be your first double crochet. Or if you're uncomfortable with the magic ring, you just need to chain 3, and some people make a slip knot. I don't. I just take my hook and I go around it like that, grab my yarn, and then there's my first chain. So there's 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and do 4. All right, slip stitch, take your hook, slip stitch into that first chain, grab your yarn, pull through what's on your hook. Now you've got you a little hole right here. Okay, that's what you're going to be working in. It's just like if you had that magic ring and you had a hole to work in. So go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, just like you did in the magic ring, and that way that's a double crochet. Okay, so go ahead and insert your hook in that circle, in that hole there, and make 1 double crochet like that, and go ahead and do another double crochet. So now you have 3 double crochets, because remember your chain 3 represents a double crochet. So you have 1, 2, 3. Now go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2. And go ahead and work 3 more double crochets in that circle or that hole. That's 1, 2. Hold on, I'll get me some yarn here. Okay, that was 1, 2, and 3. All right, so now we have 2 sets of 3. Now let's chain 2 again. And you're going to put 3 more double crochets in the hole. That's 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead and chain 2 again. Now your goal is to get 4 for your starting square. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We still need to do another 3 double crochets. Okay, so we did our chain 2. So let's work 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2. Now you're going to slip stitch in the top right here of that chain 3. So insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through, and pull through the loop that's on your hook. Now you have made a slip stitch. So see, now you have a square. That is going to be your 4 corners of your square. You're always going to the corners are always going to grow and get larger and larger as you do this. So what I do for my second row is I slip stitch into this next stitch right here. You see, There's a stitch right there. Slip stitch. So insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through, and pull through the hook, the loop that's on your hook. Now the next one we're going to do it again, but this time we're going to insert our hook in the chain 2 space. So insert your hook, grab the yarn, and pull it through the loop that's on your hook. Now see how you made that nice and smooth across there? And you can't even tell. All right, so now we're going to make our corner. So we're going to chain 3. And remember, chain 3 represents a double crochet. So go ahead and do 2 more double crochets in that chain 2 space. All right. So see, now you got 3. 1, 2, 3. And you'll chain 2 because you're working the corner. So go ahead and do 3 more double crochets in that same space that you're working in. That's 1, 2, and 3. So now you've made a corner. So now you need to get to this corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 to get over to this corner. So we're going to skip those, and we're going to the next corner to make another corner. So we're going to make 3 double crochets in that chain 2 space. So that was 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead and chain 2 because you're still working the corner, and work 3 double crochets in that same chain 2 space. That was 1, 2. Now we have 3. So see, now you've got one corner here, a chain 1, and another corner right there. Each corner should have 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 double crochets for every corner. All right, so to get over to this corner, we need to chain 1, work 3 double crochets in that chain 2 space. That's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2. Now 3 double crochets in that same chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead and chain 1. Now our last chain 2 space here, our last corner, going to work 3 double crochets. That was 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2, work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now chain 1. Now look back, take a look at your work, lay it down so you can see what you've got going here. So now you've got to, you'll do this for every row, slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 right there. So insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through, pull it through the loop on your hook. And we'll do it again in the next stitch. Insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull through, pull it through the loop that's on your hook. And then our last time, because now we're in the chain 2 space. Grab your yarn, pull through the loop. There we go. So now there's your square so far. Now this is what I'm calling the runway. From now on, all 4 sides, I'm calling a runway. You have your corners and you have your runway, and you have your corner and your runway. Okay, so in this corner, we're going to chain 3, and it's the same thing over and over and over, no matter what row you're on. That chain 3 represents a double crochet. So work 2 double crochets in that chain 2 space. Chain 2, we're still in the corner. Work 3 double crochets, that's 1, 2, and 3. And now we have a corner, because remember, all corners is 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Now we're on the runway. So for the third row, let's see, 1, 2, for the third row, you're going to chain 1. Now you have a chain 1 space that you haven't had before. That's new. So go ahead and work 3 double crochets in this chain 1 space. That's 1, 2, and 3. But you always chain 1 afterwards, because you've got to get to your chain 2 space over here. You got to get to your corner. So now that we chain 1, let's work in our corner, our chain 2 space. So we have 1, 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. It's 1, 2, and 3. So now we have one corner, a runway, and another corner. So chain 1, and now we have that. You can't forget that chain 1 space. Work 3 double crochets in that chain 1 space. That's 1, 2, and 3. Don't forget to chain 1. Now we're going to work another corner. We're going to work 3 double crochets in that corner. That's 1, 2, and 3. And we got to complete the corner, we got to chain 2. And we got to do 3 more double crochets in that same chain 2 space, that same corner. That's 1, 2, and 3. And so now we're going to chain 1. You always chain 1. And work in that chain 1 space. Work 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Now we got a chain 2 here, a corner. See, you can lay it out and look at it. That's what I always do, is I always say, lay it out and look and see what you're doing. Okay, so we're working in this corner. 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2. 3 more double crochets in that same spot. That's 1, 2, and 3. Don't forget to chain 1, and we're working in that chain 1 space. 3 double crochets. It's 1, 2, and 3. And don't forget to chain 1. We're going to slip stitch in the top of that first chain 3 that we did in the beginning. Oh, and here's what it looks like, so you'll know. Take it back and look, and you can see if you connect that, you have a square. See? So you got to connect that. So in order to connect that, we go into the top of this chain 3. Just like that. Like we did on the previous 2 rounds. And we're going to do it one more time. Like that, and one more time in the chain 2 space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And like I said, that chain 3 represents a double crochet. But here's what you've got so far. We're going to do one more row. And you would just continue repeating the same pattern over and over and over until you get it the size that you want. Okay, so that was 1, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, a chain 2, because we're in the corner, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Don't forget to chain 1. Okay, so now we have a corner. See, that's a corner. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Now we chained 1, and now we have a space here. We got to work in between. What you'll be doing is working 3 double crochets when you're on the runway. You're going to work 3 double crochets in every chain 1 space. So no matter how big this gets, as long as you got a chain 1 space, you're going to work 3 double crochets in there. Okay, so work 3 double crochets in that chain 1 space. That was 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. You got another one here. 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. Now that's your runway right there. Each of your sides are the runways, and then you have corners. Runways and corners. All right, so now let's work in our next corner. 3 double crochets. It's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Now we're on the runway again, so let's work 3 double crochets in that chain 1 space. That's 1, 2, and 3, and chain 1. All right, we got another chain 1 space. Work 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. Don't forget to chain 1. Now we're in the corner again. Work 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2 because you're in the corner. 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Now you're on the runway. 3 double crochets in the chain 1 space. That's 1, 2, and 3, and chain 1. Now you still have another chain 1 over here. Work 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3, and chain 1. And you can lay it out, see what you got. See? Now you got another corner and another 3 double crochet here and a 3 double crochet here, and you'll connect your corner. So let's go ahead and work that corner. The corner has, all corners have 3 double crochets. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 because now you're on the runway. 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Got another chain 1 space. Work 3 double crochets. That was 1, 2, and 3. Now, I always say to lay your work out so you can see what you've got. Always lay it out and look. Okay, I accidentally cut my yarn because I forgot to say when I recorded this video, I forgot to say chain 1 here. So I have to add a chain 1. Don't forget to chain 1 after every 3 double crochets on your runway. All right, slip stitch into the top of your chain 3. Now you can tie this off. I'm sure you'll probably want to keep going. And all you do is slip stitch into that next stitch, slip stitch into that chain 2, and you're going to repeat the same process. 3 double crochet, well, you'd start with a chain 3, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then you're on your runway. 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then you're in your corner. And you just keep that same process, and it will just get bigger and bigger for you. Okay, so I hope this tutorial has helped you learn to make a granny square. Thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.